I am Phil Alitea, and that's not going to work because my tent is right there. Hopefully that stands, so I have it. And it's Sunday! Sunday, Sunday! That is a reference that not everyone is going to get, I have only recently learned. Not everybody grew up with monster truck rally commercials. I didn't know that. Alright. Oh, I forgot to put on my britches before I went live. So we're still in the naked philosopher mode. Bottomless philosopher mode for sure. Hello, Mel. Good morning. How are you? I'm about to brush my teeth, so, I expected a few minutes of... It's usually a few minutes where I'm alone. Good morning. Oh. Mm. Okay, that is the worst experience in the world to me. I did hear Arizona tea is raising their prices because of aluminum costs. Aluminum has been getting increasingly expensive to mine because it's getting rare. I used to be in manufacturing, and they used to sit us down quarterly and tell us the prices of the raw materials, steel, um, aluminum, etc. And since 2012, prices have just been going up because these metals are harder and harder and harder to find. And the recycling process, they told us that metal recycling in the 90s was easy and affordable in the future, and it's not either of those things, easy or affordable. But yeah, the whole brushing of the teeth thing is, to me, a pathological terror, and it's something that I have a very real pathology of people knowing that I do, whether I do. And so it's something that I will put off and put off and put off and put off for days and days and days. And it is a very, very bad and harmful habit. So I do it on this channel as much to demonstrate at least trying to do it properly, but also overcoming that terror. It's a real problem for me. It's haunted me my whole life. But yeah, aluminum is the most plentiful metal on the planet, um, but it's also it's increasingly hard to find. It's increasingly hard to refine, um, and the world governments are busy fighting over the current resources. Meanwhile, we've had the technology necessary to begin mining near-Earth asteroids, comets, meteors, whatever they're called, and the moon for a decade, and no one will move on it. And I don't understand why. We could be mining space aluminum and everything. Well, I think the reason is because everything would suddenly become free on the planet. Everything on the planet would suddenly become free if we were mining these ultra abundant resources, extra exoplanet. You understand what I'm saying? If we suddenly started having asteroids that we were able to bring down to the Earth and refine, material costs for last century's technologies would suddenly be free, and then the markets would be wide open for actual entrepreneurship and invention, because we would suddenly have future materials. So who knows what you can do with super abundant materials from the previous century, and then abundant future materials. Who knows what the future looks like? And we've been at that bottleneck for a decade. Elon Musk's SpaceX exists to mine exoplanet. All this Mars horse shit, none of that matters. The reason you never hear about him, the one who owns all those hotels, who he owns an aerospace company too. The reason Bigelow, the reason you never hear about Bigelow is because their company is expressly about developing exo mining capabilities. The Bigelow Enterprises or whatever, the guy that owns all those hotels, he also used to own the uh, ranch, the Skinwalker Ranch. The reason you never hear about him, the reason they're not in the news doing dumb publicity stunts like landing rockets on their tips from near Earth orbit, the reason you never hear about them is because they're explicitly about mining the moon and near Earth bodies. Good morning, Sasha. I don't know what W means. I would like it if you stop, please. All right, that's gonna look like it's moved one more time, and you're not going to be able to talk to me anymore. Alright, Sasha. I don't actually do 3 strikes. You guys just do understand that I don't owe you a platform, right? That the way the First Amendment and free speech work, if you believe in the American ideals as the backbone for any kind of human right, any kind of human right, the way yes, I live in this tent, the way that free speech works is that you have the freedom to express yourself, but you don't have to the freedom to express yourself anywhere you feel like. I have the freedom to turn off your expression. This is my show, not your chat. Now, collectively, it's your chat. Good morning, Connor. These before noon shows may not be to your parents' liking, Connor. It takes me a little while to remember to be sensitive in my conversation. I'm in the United States, Listicle. I'm happy you're here as well, Mel. Ooh, people are very entitled. Yes. That's the difference. Like a freedom and an entitlement are a very, very important conversation. You're welcome to be here, Connor. I'm just suggesting that maybe for these earlier in the day conversations, you want to introduce your parents to the idea that you're talking to me, or at least listening to me. I'm doing great, Billy. Is that Tom or Tam? Basically, is that English or is it not English? Thanks, Tam. That helped. I love when people who don't read, especially people who don't read outside of their native language, spell phonetically. Like, yep, that I can see that it's T-A-M. Is the A spelled like an or pronounced like an O, Tom, because it's not English? Or is it pronounced like an A because it's Tam, because it's English? Heard that, Billy. I'm from the United States. I'm in Ohio. It's going to be a moderately cool, hopefully overcast and windy day. Feels like rain though. I'm hoping no rain. Hello, Greta. I'm hoping no rain for no particular reason. It just gives me anxiety. If you say so, Cody. Grew up in North Carolina. So whatever questions that you think Ohio explains, you're taking the wrong answers. You're just assuming the wrong position in your investigation because you're a dickhead. Alright, moving on. Bonsoir! Did I get that one right, Olivier? I don't know. Bonsoir means a soiree is like a party, isn't it? Dunia was just talking about being in Ohio. Or that, Alexander. You agree with my position that unkind people come to unkind conclusions because they begin at unkind assumptions? Bon, Dooney. I don't know French, but I speak just enough. Yeah, I don't know how to... I know how to pronounce that, but I don't know what it means. So I'm just going to assume you're trying to get me to say something that I'm not supposed to. It's part of the unkind lifestyle. That's right. Unkindness is a lifestyle. Assuming that people are different from you or that you are better is a lifestyle. Heard that, Billy. I knew I missed something that you said and then I didn't look up. Summer for you. Heard that. It's summer for us as well. Who's begging, Patriot? Are you here to beg? I get it double bad now. That's right. People like Patriot Outlaw assume they know me. I feel great today, Olivier. I didn't wake up with any back pain. I didn't wake up dehydrated. I slept the whole night through without waking up. I'm feeling great. This work that I'm doing is helping me cogitate throughout the day without boredom breaks. I see you, Risa. I was answering a question. You got to give me an opportunity to say hi back. Good morning. You're from India. Heard that information of Ramain. I think that Y is pronounced differently than in Western Indo-European languages, so I don't know how to do it. Ramain. I don't know how to do all of your vowels, India. I'm just going to be straight with you. Your language is very difficult for me. Ramayan, thank you for telling me. This is my job, Billy. Good morning, One Punch Man. 22. How you doing, man? Ramen? Dooney? Yeah, you guys have a lot of, I would call them ghost sounds in your language. If you understand music, like drums or bass, ghost notes. Evening. Heard that. Ramen. That's right, MacDonald. Good morning, Mercedes. I wouldn't describe myself that way, Johnny Mike, but other people would. I slept very well, Vito. Thank you for asking. I didn't wake up with any back pain this morning. I made sure to stretch and move around more yesterday. Sure, Yates. This is my source of income, and it's where I go every day for 8 or more hours. It's going to be a beautiful day, Hired Lunacy. It's going to be one of those blue-gray Ohio days that London complains about, but I love it here. Good morning, Princess Peach. I'm doing great. How are you today? Yeah, it's going to be a lovely day. 90 in Baltimore and cloudy. Oh, that's a bummer, NG. Hey, my piece is right here, Billy. Thank you for the encouragement. And you have a great day as well. Take that kindness and carry it with you. I have a lot of antipathy approaching animosity for St. Paul, right? The gospel or the epistle writer of the first century. But he said that kindness is armor. Yeah, I've gotten that since I was a little boy in the 90s. I can't read your name, friend. It's too small, and I can't read that cursive. 103. What's the humidity like, One Punch Man? Going to Paris. That's exciting, Olivier. I remember you telling me earlier in the week that you were excited to go to Paris. I don't remember what you said you were going for, just to be honest with you. But I remember you telling me you were going. Is that a V or a W? A U. Is that Kashav or Kashaw? Anju. Good morning. 26%. When I say that's not bad, I know 100 degrees is very hot. But it'll be in the 80s today, and it'll be in the 80% humidities. It's the humidity that kills you. Just be careful with the sun. Be careful with direct sunlight. You don't need me to tell you that, One Punch Man. But that is intense. That's really hot. Paris, oui, oui, says NG. Do you pronounce that shizzy? Or sheezy? Good morning, Jib. I'm extremely religious. People ask me, are you homeless? And I say, no, I am a religious monastic. Living at the mercy of everything that passes by. Good morning, Habaneza. It's great to see you, Jib. Nothing is free. That's right. Shizzy? Like that? That's how I would pronounce, or with an H. You're probably saying sheezy, because without the H, a lot of people would pronounce that she. You can ask, ain't? I don't have to answer it. Good morning, Greenie. Great to see you. It is morning in this corner of the world. It's just after 10 a.m. Going for a presentation for a cooking event. Present your own recipes. Oh, that's exciting. We might get to see you on a menu somewhere in the States then, Olivier. That's exciting. Maybe in a decade, but still, I might get to see something you made in a recipe on a menu in the States. If that's your definition of home, Robin, then I don't have a home. Heard that, Vito. I'm in Ohio, big huzzah. Top of the morning to you, Slim Richard. I always feel like a leprechaun saying that, like I'm doing an act, but because you said it to me, I can return the greeting. It is awesome, isn't it, Greenie? I've attracted just a whole bunch of really interesting people who are way more interesting than I am. Morning, Chicken. Morning, Koga. Great to see you around, Chicken Nugget. Glad I haven't scared you off with my stupid shit I say yet. Good morning, Leanne. The average humidity is above 80, Vito. We're way above the heat index. We hit 100% a few weeks ago. Ain't she asks me a question that I would actually like to dwell on a little bit because it's kind of in my profile. Um, they ask me, if Jesus was never crucified for our sins, do you think life would have been different? Do you think we would go on? He would go on with life and spread the word of God. What do you think? And so my chat is going to stop moving for a while. So if you guys keep saying hello, if you say your hellos after this point, I'm not going to see them. I'm holding that on my screen so I can address it because I want to talk about this. This is what the fountain is for. I like to answer questions the best that I can. Some people have really good questions buried deep in their hearts that I like to dialect out. Okay? So I begin that question, answering that question at the position that I am of the opinion, for argument's sake, and for hypothesis sake, as far as critical reading, critical analysis of the history, I begin at the position that Jesus is a fictional character. Okay. Now, if I reposition that to the hypothesis that Jesus was a real person that did everything they said, everything that everybody said about him, except for the magic, if we just take the death and we assume that he was a cultist like David Koresh or anyone else, and it occurred to him that what he was asking them to do was take the mission to South America and upset the South American government, and that what was probably going to happen was that they were all going to get killed, and so what he was going to do was make him himself a scapegoat for them so that the group could survive after the cult leader's death. If we assume that position, then if if Rome hadn't killed him, he would have sat on the throne that Herod was holding empty. He would have reigned as king of Jerusalem, and history would have been very different, ain't she? Does that answer your question? Heard that, Fabio. Other people describe me as homeless, Christopher. It's freezing where you are. Are you in the southern hemisphere, Elsie? Russell says that he comes not to call the sinner to righteous, or not to, he comes not to call the righteousness, or the righteous, but the sinner to repentance. I don't know who the sinner is, or where what it means to repent, or what we're repenting for, but this isn't that. Outdated literature depends on what you mean by your question, Elsie. Hit me with what you mean by that question, and I would love to answer it. I'm glad that you asked, Ain't. I'm glad to have tried to answer it from my perspective for you. I tried to give you two answers. I talk to God every day, Clown Level. Much love to India, Ranju. When did I first start my first ever live stream? It's tagged, Mark. You'd have to go and look at when the date was. I appreciate you asking the question, ain't she? You had a dream that you were enjoying a cigarette, Mel? I'm sorry that I'm putting these thoughts in your guys' head. I'm even jamming it in your face right now. Jesus did teach from Matthew 6:14 that if you forgive others their transgressions, your heavenly Father will forgive you. He also taught later in that same book that the only unforgivable sin is the sin you don't ask forgiveness for. I was asleep by 2 a.m. I have no interest in doing that. Asking you guys to like and subscribe. Tobacco is, yeah, not good for you. It's gonna get warm later, but right now I'm not in direct sunlight. For now, this is what the agenda is. I'm going to hang out here until it's too warm, or till the battery's empty, or till I think I've got a full bottle of water somewhere in this tent. I don't smoke more than 6 a day, Vito. And I'm going to get something to eat. Yeah, I just going to try to string every day to be basically the same. Try to maintain a steady presence. I don't have Roblox slogan. Heard that, Billy. Please drive safe. Well, Clown Level, you're not talking to me anymore. A lot of people today, yeah. With any luck, Russell, I'll spend eternity in the hearts and minds of loved ones. I have heard that song, Elsie. You didn't answer my question, so I can't answer yours. That's a way to say it, Robert. That is. I prefer to think of Jesus as a role model, Jib. If you guys want to help Michael Blucker, he might have links somewhere. I do have enough to get myself some lunch, Sarah. I think I've got $40, somewhere between 40 and $60. I ate for free yesterday, so I think I've still got $20 on my Cash App even. Elsie, you're starting to annoy me. Friend of the truth, Emmanuel, that's correct. I spell it wrong because I thought I invented the word Aletheia, and then I found it in Plato later in life. But yes, that's what Philaletheia means. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong too. 2.5 hour drive. Olivier, please drive safe. If you're taking an Uber, please, I guess, don't distract him. We don't have a Costco, Jedediah. Hello, Mr. Video. My day's going great so far, Dreams. I would love to know how to answer that properly, Wednesday Adams. I don't know what that means. My secret place? That makes me think of the Megadeth song, and so I don't know how to answer your question to what you're asking me. My secret place! I don't know if that's what you're talking about. I actually did not try to do Dave Mustaine's on that. My secret place! However he goes. My voice isn't warmed up. God has been giving me more than I can handle, more than a day at a time, for months, for years, for decades. But thank you for your encouragement, Sarah. I'm definitely not camping, so if you prefer to think of it as homelessness, Emmanuel. I know, Elsie, I'm not asking you to stop being you. I'm just telling you that you asked me a religious question and I don't know what you meant, so I don't know how to answer it. That's right, Billy. Billy says God loves you even if you make mistakes. He keeps you safe, and I've been talking for the last day or two. I've been talking about the last day or two about how I realized only recently that I leave myself open to the unfair attack. I leave myself open to what would be evil if you did it to me. Because I believe God will protect me and have for my whole life. Welcome back, Bella. Heard that, Jib. That sounds cool. Depends on what you're asking me, Jezik. I don't know how to answer what my views on religion are. I don't fish, Trav. I hear you, Sarah. I'm in Ohio. God has been testing me since I was born, Lathan. I choose to live in a tent. I choose to live in a tent for religious reasons, Emmanuel. I don't know what you're sorry for, Wednesday. I didn't know what your question meant. You don't need to apologize for me being curious. You like the way that I worded that it depends on what you mean by religion and my view thereon for me to answer the question properly? Well, I appreciate I appreciate your positive feedback, but I still can't answer your question, Jezik. That's right, Robert. I'm still here. I've never rebuked an evil in Jesus' name. I rebuke evil in the goddess's name. God doesn't make them safe, Greenie. God doesn't make them safe. Heard that, Jezik. Bella, I can't. If you're trying to message me privately, I'm not seeing it. I started buying my own basically the day I turned 18. That's right. Elsie asked me if I think that the Bible is outdated literature. The internet is not today's religion. That's wrong, Elsie. But if you're trying to ask me whether the history of the Bible is outdated, the narrative of the Bible as history is outdated. But if you're trying to ask me whether the wisdom and the lessons that the Bible can teach us from its stories, from its allegory, is outdated, no, of course not. If you need to stop it, then stop, Richard. Hello, Cinnamon. I don't feel like going over the reasons right now, Emmanuel. I haven't gotten any tips asking me to talk about my life directly. I was born in Ohio, yes, Wednesday, but I grew up in North Carolina. Well, here, Fedora, you don't have to hear it. You're not welcome to continue speaking to me. No, I don't think you can private message people on YouTube. What is a figure of speech? It is not a figure of speech. It is a pronoun. Maybe, Jib. God doesn't ask much. God makes a lot of demands. I'm great. I'm doing great, Chutch. Calling yourself a free thinker means that you're enslaved to your own arrogance, Elsie. Calling yourself a free thinker is like giving yourself a nickname. It's just megalomania. See, Jason's got it. Take care, Trav. God didn't make the world. If you feel like having to kill and eat is evil, then stop doing it, honey. Stop eating. Not particularly, Elsie. You're going to say something hurtful. Wearing that bandana in public indicates that you think very highly of yourself and want other people to as well. I'm glad to hear that you believe in God, Jason. How is it hard to reconcile nature with God for you, honey? That doesn't make sense. God's sadistic or loving, and what's the difference, Slim? What's the difference? What God did to Jesus, could you describe that as anything but sadistic? Can you, Slim, describe what God did to Jesus as anything but sadistic and abusive and horrible? This is what I'm doing, some dude. How do you say that? Indefatigability. That's a really beautiful word to use, but really fucking hard to say. Heard that, funny Republican. The earth was made by gravity and time. God does indeed work in mysterious ways. Well, what is natural evil, honey bunny? And why are we using the word made? The question, you seem to be quite intelligent, to a person who is intelligent, is very offensive and condescending, because you're positioning yourself as observing me from above. I understand that I'm lying down, but the question It positions you from above me, Wednesday. But yeah, I would identify myself as highly intelligent. Because there are many... Why? Okay, Elsie, if there's only one thing to communicate, why are there so many languages? How was what made? Gravity wasn't made. What's up, yes? What about demons, some dude? Is greed evil? Is greed harm? I define evil as harm. I know, Wednesday. You're confused by what's happening here, and you're trying to reconcile it, and you want me to say, yes, I am quite intelligent. But you don't have anywhere to go from that position because you're above me still. I have to say, yes, and then you're like, but should you be above me then? And no, we don't need to switch positions. I don't like missionary anyway. Pride is the devil. Pride is the devil, funny. Being ungrateful is unhealthy, Jib. Thank you for being here. How is what there, Jason? Buddy, I really want to engage with you, but you got to use more than pronouns. You got to give me like a compound sentence, my friend. That's right. She is so high above me. She is so lovely, dude. That's a great song, and I love it. I'm religious, honey. I'm a monastic. How did time and gravity happen? Time is a measurement, and gravity is what happens when mass exists. Mass exists because after the Planck epoch of the Big Bang, when things began to cool down and there was space, the energy, when it cools down enough and slows down enough, becomes mass. So when the energy stopped being so energetic, it became mass, and then gravity is the result. It didn't happen. It's the result of mass. Mass is the result of energy at a slower vibration. Energy is the result of God thinking, what if there were a universe? I wish that your father had been, Rob. Elsie, you're starting to get under my skin, buddy. We exist one moment at a time, Jason. That's how we exist. My favorite song by Picasso is The Mute Button, Rob. Take a real vow of what, honey? I understand, Wednesday. You're just using that question mark, and I'm just trying to describe to you my perspective. I don't have a degree, some dude. Okay, Elsie, then go away. That's one way to think about it, El. I'll mute you, sweaty sack. No, I don't camp, official flow. Does God exist? Did God ever exist? Because I choose to be, Wednesday. People remember us or they forget us, Jason. That's what happens after we die. I said I was a monastic. So that means that I have taken a vow and chosen to adhere to a spiritual exercise. Why are you telling me that, honey? Why are you asking me, and why is it your business? It's very interesting, Greenie. Indefatigable is the proper way to say it. I just couldn't get it out of my mouth, Slim Richard. I started to stutter. I have a little bit of a stutter. Indefatigable is the word. Indefatigability is what I was trying to say. Daniel Everett, have it but haven't read it. Heard that. I am full of rage, Carez. Rage is my star sign. I chose it because I wanted to. Wednesday. Bye, honey. What are my thoughts? Do I think they should be legal on any level? What about other substances? I don't prefer to have that conversation. I'm too stoned person. The indefatigable one was one of my regulars. I'll see his name and I'll tell you then, some dude. I'm actually filled with rage. Guess what about it? For religious reasons, yes, Wednesday. Nintendo indeed. I'm assuming among Nintendo fans that's a good thing. I have been in the service of the goddess since I was 6 years old, Wednesday. I gave my life to her when I was 6 years old. Told the story a bunch of times. Am I a Puritan? No. Heard that, some dude. You're referencing a thing that I don't know. Give me just a second, guys. I'm gonna put on some music real quick. Do I sell signs? I don't know what that means. What do you mean, do I sell signs? I'm having a great day, Greenie. Well, here, I always say this. Have a good day, or else. It's about determination. It's not about predetermination. It's about the determination to make this a good situation no matter how shit it is. I don't know who those people are, Blazer. Heard that, Greenie. Well, what you do is you just soldier on like he's not there. And if he wants to come back and do anything but apologize, it can be like that old country song. Are you familiar with, oh, he did a cover of Life is a Highway. That's what I know him for. Garth Brooks was the biggest fan of him. Show you the landscape? I'll take you out of the tent eventually Wednesday. And your tire is flat again. Well, Greenie, what you have is demonic intervention in your life. And what you need to say is, fucking quit it, leave me alone. Bother Shaggy. You want Shaggy. Just say those words and it'll leave you alone, more than likely. But, Chris Ledoux, are you familiar with Chris Ledoux? He has this song about an old cowboy who's chasing the rodeo, and he busts his leg, and he's ashamed to come home to his lady, so he chases the rodeo with this busted leg until his leg is too busted to work. And then he calls his lady, and he's like, hey, I'm going to come home, and I'm going to take care of them kids, but I busted my leg. And she goes, well, if you got a busted leg, you just don't even come on home. I've been here without you. Things were fine without you. I done raised these kids. I done fed all these animals. Done made this farm profitable without you. They're coming on home. Because you're just going to be an expense around this here farmstead. So if he wants to be a baby, or he or she, I'm sorry. If they, your partner, want to be a baby and storm out and ignore you and do all of this, that's what my favorite girlfriend did to me. If they want to come home and just act like nothing happened, they don't need to come home. Where is the soul? Probably in the brain. Let's be cool, funny Republican. Yeah, if he's gonna act like that, he can maybe not even come on home. If her bed is that good, you could just stay there. If her bed is good enough for you to turn your phone off or block me, you just go live with her ass. That's my opinion. That's what I told my favorite girl. If he's that good, you just go live with his fucking ass. Oh, he's married? Yeah, you figure that out with on your own and out of my house. You have a theory on the multiverse, funny Republican? I'm here to talk cosmology. Here, I tell you what, Jay. You stop watching or I'm gonna mute you. Heard that, funny? The special theory of relativity already predicts a multiverse model, but I'm hearing you. You hope for that, Jib? I'm writing a series of books about that right now. If you find the last sandcastle work on my Patreon, it's about that. I have a series of dialogues between someone who has between two people that are experiencing that in that series of books. Where does the brain begin and where does it end? It begins at the spinal column and it ends at the cerebellum, and then the gut biome is tangentially attached. Good morning, Kenya. Good morning, Angela. I slept great. It's a dystopian horror, Jib. Don't think it's going to be fun, but it's cool for sure. I haven't worked on it in months because I couldn't get anybody to help me alpha read it, because alpha readers charge money. So I respect that. That's never been observed, funny Republican. You'd have to observe it in order to hypothesize that. It's impossible for light to go faster, and gravity might slow down our perception of light, but it can't go slower. Well, black holes, for sure. I mean, they slow down light. They bend light. Yeah, they affect our perception of light. Hello, Queen. Tagalize? Tagalis? I don't know about that, funny Republican. I can't talk to that. Morning, Cindy. Nice to see you from Ohio, Dorothy. I'm in Ohio. I'm chilling, doing the fountain, talking to people. I got funny Republican is telling me his theories about multiverses right now. We were talking physics, I think, for a while. Just kind of chilling, talking, sharing what I know about the universe. I do my best to be kind. I don't know about nice. Queen, I will yell at you. I will hit you with a stick. Thank you. I like my tent, Dorothy. That's funny. I was just talking about my literary work, The Last Sandcastle, is a dystopian near future. Well, yeah. And one of the songs that I've already presented, I'm writing it as a script. I'm going to make it's a audio visual thing. I need help. But one of the things that's already in the script is Disposable Heroes by Metallica. Back to the front. I use that line, implying that you will do what I say when I say. You will die when I say. You must die. You coward. You servant. You blind man. And then the next scene is his team brutally discorporating another team of mech soldiers. Is the soul a non-material entity? Yes, it's non-material. It's experiential. It's an experience, not a material effect. I hear you, Republican. It's hard to talk about it without practice. You're welcome to practice here anytime you like. I don't know what you're talking about. You're probably going to get the mute soon. Yes, I am very chill. That's how I identify myself, Queen. Enter Sandman is a fucking killer song. It's their least favorite song to play live of the songs they feel like they have to play because it's so simple, but it's a fucking killer song. Bye, Queen. Have a great day. Or else. back to the front. This song is actually about the NFL. It's about being an aging NFL player. It's from the person speaking is the perspective of a head coach or an offensive coordinator or a position coach. You coward, you servant, you blind man. Get out there on the field and play. Because that's how they treated him in the 80s. That's what Disposable Heroes is about. It's a fucking awesome song. He was watching some game, some Washington Redskins game with Renner, I think is his name. Some aging white running back who played in his 40s. He was watching him on the final or in the latter years of his career as this guy is just battered and bruised, an old man, knees busted. I don't know the geography of Ohio well enough to know where Belore is. Take care, Queen. But that's cool that your sister lives in Belore. West Virginia effectively ceded Ohio. Ohioans don't like to talk about that. Moving on. Funny. I don't even know that guy's still in the I don't even know that guy is still in the chat. Heard that? You're from Philly? Bye. Am I dying? Welcome back, Queen. It smells pretty bad underneath my sleeping bags for sure. It smells pretty bad. But that is what laundromats are for. When it gets cold, I'll switch my sleeping bags around. I'm sitting on a light summer sleeping bag right now, a mummy, but whatever. I'm sitting on a 55-degree sleeping bag right now. And then I'm laying on my cushioned and very thick winter mummy down to 5. Probably not yet, funny. She used to live in Cincinnati. That's cool. I'm about 2 hours away from Cincy, and I rep the Bengals all day long every day. Dorothy, that's cool. I don't remember what I was talking about. This vape is Dualicious, funny, by the brand Ria. I don't know what the fruit flavors are. It's 2 fruit flavors. That's all it says on the website. And then I'll swap my sleeping bags, and when I do that, I'll wash them both at the laundromat, and then I'll swap them fresh. I'll probably end up getting a new mat for under them, or maybe I'll just double up the mats under them or something like that. I don't know. I don't have much padding between me and the ground, that's for sure. That's one thing that when I have some dosh, no, I don't hunt Wednesday. I don't want to take a life. I don't even like taking the lives of the mosquitoes that hurt me. I grew up reading about Manichaeism and Jainism. Actually, when I call myself Buddhist, I prefer Jainism spiritually. Heard that, Jib. On Wednesday, funny you hunt elk. That's cool. Hopefully you do it in a humane way. Your team is the Eagles, yeah. I've been getting a lot of Eagles fans see my hat talking shit like they've done anything for the Eagles. Jainists don't eat a lot of things. Jainists don't eat a lot of things. The crickets are relaxing. I sit here and I listen to this, some of it sometimes very, very heavy metal. Like right now I got Metallica, I got Megadeth in my ear right now. I do eat meat Wednesday. It's the most efficient delivery system for protein and fat. Right now I'm listening to Megadeth, and then I will tune out of the music to listen to the crickets chirp. Heard that funny. I appreciate that you hunt the elderly only. Almost constantly, Slim. The last few days I've been doing these lives, and so I haven't needed the music to drown out the voices in my head. That's idiomatic. I don't mean that there are voices in my head. But I do tend to listen to music constantly, yes. Music or an audiobook, a lecture, speaking. I tend to put on Neeb's Gaming because I like the conversation. I like to listen to the arguments. It's not hot yet, Funny Republican. I have a fan on, and the temperature's probably a low 70. I'm not dangerous, no, Wednesday. But if somebody were to threaten my person, I will defend myself. For $5 in my Cash App, I will do that. It is quiet, Jeb. You're a social being, Slim Richard. You're a human. We evolved in an environment not unlike this one, with constant chittering, constant noise. Humans were constantly making noise. Heard that, Funny? If you go to pre-modern societies, they're just constantly singing, constant music everywhere, constant noise, constant noise. Silence means there's a predator around, Slim. That's why you need noise. Silence means there's a predator. Good morning, Pathway. We're not likely to get along, but good morning. Heard that. Busy morning. Pure silence. Yeah. That's why the Irish have such a rich storytelling and songwriting tradition. No, I'm not camping. Pathway. I wouldn't call myself typical in any way of Americans, Wednesday. That's hurtful. Montana's so silent you can hear the bears in Canada. Funny? That's funny. Yeah. That's why Montana has a thriving folk music tradition. The typical American is an arrogant, ignorant ass who drives an oversized car, pays for an oversized house, and bitches about rent being too high. I live in a tent. Morning, Akira. Nah, I'm not worried about the National Guard coming to Ohio. I didn't even know it was happening. I pronounce your name Akira in my head. It's Akira, right? The accent's on the I. Like the manga, right? Was Akira an anime? I know it got a movie. Akira, yes. It's okay, Wednesday. Favorite film was Akira? Heard that, Slim. I'm not actually hurt, Wednesday. You didn't actually hurt my feelings. You said there's a language barrier. I just keep myself at a 0, because if I let myself go either way, people start to call me crazy. Dayton or East Cleveland, Funny? Maybe Toledo. It's nice outside. You can see it right here. If you want me to move the camera, you're going to have to pay me. 916, you should talk to someone who cares. Living in Germany, heard that. Wednesday, Guten Tag. No sprechen Sie Deutsch, but Guten Tag. Well met. Down. 916, good gifts! His username looks like a radio station. We get this Ihnen. Sie sprechen sehr gut Deutsch. I can read it, and I've tried to learn how to pronounce it, but I don't know what you just said to me, except that I speak good German. Thank you for the compliment. Good morning, Nark. People tell me that. I have no evidence that the people who tell me that love me, but they tell me that Jesus loves me. But I know I'm a liar. Narc brought Ozzy Osbourne into my ear, and I love it. Hellraiser. I'll put a spell on you. I am, of course, doing Lemmy's part because Ozzy's voice is too high for me this morning. I haven't got outside the tent to cough and stretch my throat yet. Speaking of, I mean, we can, but also, kind of what we mean is we're stunned that Ozzy died before the Rolling Stones. But yeah, it's sad that Ozzy left us. Who's next? Yeah, right. I don't. Funny Republican. I haven't showered since the night before I became homeless. I think you guys have actually watched me bathe on here a few times. I know, Jib. I didn't immediately participate because you were processing the grief of the people we've already lost this year. Gallows humor is acceptable humor. Yeah. I haven't been affected by somebody dying like this since Thick 44. And then, yeah, Robin was a long time ago, so I hear what you're saying. Thick was the first person to ever affect me like this. Heard that Wednesday. Morning, Kylie. And it was. Robin left us. Robin left us in a sad way. But he'd been warning us. He'd been taking movies about it for about a decade. He'd been warning us. It is, Greenie. It is sad that Ozzy's gone, Kylie. Thank you for participating and remembering him. The ancient Egyptians, religiously, they believe that if we remember somebody's name and we think well of them, they're not actually dead. And so if we remember Ozzy's name, he's never dead. If we still listen to his music, he's never dead. And if we take his music, especially when he was talking about his deep sorrow, if we keep that alive, I'm going to make myself cry. But if we keep that memory strong, he's not actually dead. That's cool that you've been to Frankfurt, funny Republican. I've eaten too much acid to just not let this emotion happen. I have no choice. I can't. This is as much as I can control it. People tell me I'm too sentimental. I don't have any control, Kylie. I'm not getting sentimental. This is my body. It's my body, and it doesn't interrupt. It doesn't interrupt the flow of what I'm thinking or what I'm feeling. I have no control over it. I've eaten enough acid to divorce my mind from my body. You can also write his name in dust, and when his name is gone, you can stop mourning. You don't ever have to stop. A lot, funny. A lot. No, I never had visuals. My mind is too strong. Whenever it would stop, I would stop it. It is sad, and we're allowed to be sad about it. And but I'm not, what I'm expressing when my body starts to cry, that's not sadness. It's joy. So long as I remember him, I'm keeping him alive. And that's a heavy duty, but it's also one that fills me with joy. Heard that, Jib. Joy. Responsibility, but that means that I'm alive if I'm responsible for something. And yeah, I ate a lot of LSD and LSA. No, Slim. My mind is too strong. Whenever that stuff started, I would stop it. I was in control of my trips. The only time I lost control was when I was listening to Meshuggah's record, Kohl. That really fucked me up. That gave me my first ever panic attack. No, I don't have abs. Jib, I'm just very skinny. I used to be very, very fit. Heard that, Greenie. Being afraid of it can also have an effect that won't let it roll out on you. But half isn't enough to lose control. I don't have a social phobia, but I have very real social anxiety. Wednesday. Heard that funny. I am constantly stoned. And you guys can thank if you want to thank. If you feel like you can't contribute to the fund of my weed for the next 20 days or so, Alec Smith already paid for this 10-day of weed. Funny, don't. It's not funny. Bavaria never liked the Third Reich. They did horrible things in Bavaria and Austria. The Prussians did absolutely terrible things to the country of Germany. And they're still struggling with Prussian control of their majority government. So it's just not funny, and it's very sensitive right now. Ciao, ciao, Bruno. Pellonari. People tell me that a lot. They're like, sorry, my internet is blinking. I'll be able to afford it myself in 4 days. 4 days plus or minus 2. No, I'm pretty sure that blue face means that she said something that she knows is inappropriate and untrue. Do you remember the Rage comic Blueberry? I think that's supposed to be the blueberry. Like, I lied because it's funny to say, because it's really not funny to say. Yeah, look at her. No, no, no. I'm very serious Republican, funny Republican about their politics right now. The Prussians are the Prussians are a problem in their government again. I don't like that I know this. For the record, Wednesday. People who like vodka, inexpensive prostitutes, and trains really like Poland. The black metal is pretty good too. I'm not joking about the inexpensive prostitutes either. The sex tourism is out of control in the former Iron Curtain countries. It's safe. Poland is certainly beautiful, yet thus the trains and the vodka. Sure. Also a problem, because inexpensive women are mistreated. Wednesday's telling you guys secret truths. Poland is certainly beautiful. Poland has been a slave nation to Scandinavia and Germany for maybe 2,000 years, maybe longer. I'm preempting Funny Republican for those in the chat, for those who don't know him, for those that are just swinging through. He's saying things that are inappropriate to say in America because he just doesn't know anything about the world because he's a Republican. So, in large part, you just have to ignore him. Hey, Queen, welcome back. Yeah. Heard that, Jip. It's still very real over there. I'm glad to see you. Did you told me that you were driving, right? Did you, obviously your trip was safe. I know you're joking, Funny. That's why I was explaining to the people that are passing through that I'm not encouraging you because you don't really know what you're saying. Yeah. She could throw a football into Poland. You're joking because those things are funny to say for Republicans. Yeah, it's funny to say for Republicans, and you don't care if there are Democrats in the audience. But I care that the Africans and the Germans in the audience understand, especially those passing through that just see what's on the page, understand that I don't endorse this because I do understand that for most of you it's not going to be funny. You're not going to understand that it's niche humor. Yeah, it's just niche humor. Funny, I'm not asking you to defend yourself, and I'm not putting you on blast on any level. I'm just saying for anybody, because I have a lot of through traffic, man. I got 3,000 views yesterday. I have a lot of through traffic, and so I want everyone to know that this isn't a place where anybody's supposed to be on blast, and that you're allowed to say the things that you think are funny. Yeah, you're okay, Funny. I'm telling you that you're allowed to say what you think is funny, and I'm just gonna, for people who don't, I'm gonna say he doesn't mean anything by it. He's just saying things that are funny in his neck of the woods. I don't think that Americans are all right, but Americans tend to be Democrats when they're on the internet, and they tend to put on a worldly face. Heard that, Jesus. I gotta come out of this tent. Somebody's been asking me, hello, Billy. People ask me intermittently, is it warm? Is it warm? Is it warm? And it is warm now. So I gotta get out of the tent. If I'm taking my shirt off and I'm thinking about taking my pants back off, it's too warm in the tent. Look, it's my tent, alright? Yeah, Americans aren't as cool as Australians because Australians are they're used to having non-English speaking people in their proximity. So they've been yelled at and called, backwater bumfucks recently. Americans haven't been called a backwater bumfuck since the 1940s, but we are backwater bumfucks, and we just don't know it. And I see you, Billy. I'm doing great. It's got warm in my tent, so I got to clean my feet, and I got to put them in my shoes, and I got to get out of my tent. I'm 38, Queen. My fan can't go up any higher. Funny. You don't think I would have thought of that, buddy? My fan is only about 8 inches. That isn't bad in fan terms. She says it's perfect. Anyway, what was I talking about? It's battery operated, and the longer it's on, I left it on all night long. You like Amazings for, oh, that's amazing, or oh, that's so nice. Heard that. We get excited about dumb little things because we used to be a backwater bumfuck colony nation. I don't remember what the fuck I was talking about. It doesn't matter. Feet are clean. I'm going to put them in my socks. Or in my shoes. Oh, sweet! That's my favorite. Brah. Awesome. Yeah, we dumb. Bruh. Dude. Somebody asked me to see my surroundings, so here you go. I'll turn you around while I'm setting up my chair. There you go. This is my eye level right here. That's what I see every day. I like saying brah and dude, ironically. I do not have a degree ligma. It's beautiful here, Cosmic. Thank you for being here to see it. It's poison ivy all over my deer path down here. I've actually got a pretty bad patch of poison ivy on my ankle. And yeah, my poison ivy scar last night, it blistered up real bad. It depends on how you mean that, Cosmic Findings. Germans are polite and have good bread, for sure. Oh, which stuff? That stuff. Poison ivy can scar real bad, yeah. I got a real bad infection here on my wrist. I don't know if you guys can see the scarring in that light, but I got a real bad infection right here on my wrist that scarred real bad. Well, meditation can mean a lot of things, Cosmic. That's why I say it depends on which thing you mean as far as when you ask the question. I'll answer your question specifically rather than trying to define meditation for free this morning. I don't know if I would call Germans polite, but Germans are certainly honest. How'd you like that meal? I didn't die from it. And people like the German techno, for sure, Slim. People like the German techno. Are we standing up? Oi. And they love their Donner. That's right. Which is hilarious to me because Donner is almost entirely Indian in palate, like in spices and stylistic choices. I'm not going to be able to hang out here long. I'm going to be sitting in mosquitoes before very long. So you'll end up walking up to the Panera and sitting outside with me. We'll just end up doing exactly what we did yesterday. It's not a building, it's a wall. But the building that's beyond the wall is a Kohl's. Billy Lover. A Kohl's, if you're unfamiliar, is a grocery store chain. Not a grocery store chain. They're a big box clothing store chain. Like Forever 21 or that European one in malls here in the U.S. But they're more family oriented, like a Sears. I know that you say that. I live in my tent, Billy. Donor, yeah. Yeah, Turkish. Middle Eastern. But the spices are Indian. Hazelnuts are from Turkey. Wiener Schnitzel. You and my dad would get along Wednesday. I still struggle with schnitzels and schnausages. Hey, take care, Slim. It's been great talking to you. It's been great being seen by you. I guess he didn't know what he meant by meditating. That's why I didn't want to derail the conversation to schnitzels. I didn't want to derail the conversation to try to define every kind of meditation possible. Good morning, sun lover. It's an overcast day, but I am sitting out in the sun. I'll be sitting out in the sun for the next several, maybe 8 to 10 hours, whatever time it is. Maybe 8.5 hours. I was about to say, the Amish are Dutch. Hello, Rahul. Sorry, I was trying to see if I could pronounce that German, and I think that funny bee is pronounced like a s. So Welsh Wurstel with Onig Schenf, is that right? Schenf? I'm doing great, Rahul. Nothing in particular. We're just kind of like right now, Cyrus. We're just kind of bandying around information about what Germany is like right now, but no particular conversation topic. No. Namaste. I'm in Ohio. That's in the U.S. I identify as being from North Carolina, though. We identify as from our state before our nation. Rahul, if you want to know why I answer that question the way I do. Funny Democrat would put you in a position where you would be annoying a lot of people, funny Republican. I don't know that I know what you're correcting. I don't know what the do is correcting, Cyrus. America, we spell it with a C, but sure. Yes, you do, funny. If you hate Americans, Rahul, one would think that you would know what we look and sound like. Like, I'm not outing myself as an American on the world stage because you ask me where I'm from. Like, oh, he's from America. Look at him. He just outed himself. It's not an out, bro. Just insult me. The 11th province of Canada? Probably not. Canada's administrative government doesn't actually have the nuts. Did I say administrative? I meant executive. Their executive government doesn't actually have the guts. I brushed up against something yesterday that I'm allergic to. It's not quite poison ivy, but I have these little starts at a rash all over my right forearm. I must have pushed it up and then down my forearm and my arm. If it's under my sleeve, it must have brushed up against my arm like that, just enough. You want to live in Maine? That's an interesting place to live in, to want to live in. Yeah, I'm just going to sit here and get Ed up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand up. I'm going to put you guys on my tent. And then I'm going to... Hey, Hunter. Welcome back, buddy. Let's try to refrain from asking for personal information in the chat anymore, big guy. Let's make an effort at that. And then I'm going to turn off the mic for just a moment because I have to do a pee-pee. What's your question, Jazib? Trees are beautiful, for sure. Oh, 6 times minimum. You got to play with it before you put it away. Funny. I don't know about moving anywhere right now. I understand what you're telling me, but I don't know about moving anywhere right now. Funny. Boom, get off of me, you fucker. Yes, Rahul, I've got almost 2,000 videos on the channel. For sure, Wednesday. Oh, for sure, funny. I said I knew what you were doing. But sometimes I gotta talk too, you know? Heard that, Rahul? You're starting to annoy me, bud. Be proud to be a good human. Anyone can be an American. That's right. I'm very proud to be an American. South Africa, welcome. Yeah. Thank you for that, the lizard videos. Are you a reptile fan? You like Clint's reptiles? That's intense. If you quit on your American citizenship, you'll have to continue to pay taxes to the U.S. for another 10 years. It was probably a way to profit off of spies in this in the Cold War. I see, the lizard. That's interesting. You're not proud to be a German? Because of the mythology around your people? Or because of something else, Wednesday? I'm curious. Well, not necessarily, the lizard. Uh, that's kind of the question I'm asking, because not all Germans identify as the same people group. And if you actually know the history of the German landmass, not all of the people in the modern nation of Germany are from the same people group. They don't even all speak the same languages. So being proud to be a German has absolutely nothing to do with the Third Reich, because the Third Reich made up a unifying history. So you can be proud of the fact that your country has remained unified after the Cold War, but you can also be proud of who your people were, the Bavarians, etc., separate from the Saxons and the Prussians. Because Germany's lost its identity. Yeah, that makes sense, Wednesday. And that's what I'm talking about. That made-up mythology is coming back because the Prussians are in control of the government. That's what I was trying to tell. That's kind of what I was trying to tell Funny Republican. The Polish identity is enforced at the point of a gun in Poland, Funny. This is why I was saying that asking a German, uh, asking a German if they want the Third Reich back is sensitive, because the Prussians are trying to bring the Fourth Reich back. I don't know, Wednesday. Um, I don't know, darling. Should you be proud of a unified Germany when it's behaving the way it is on the world stage? I don't know. I don't know. Because a lot of people ask me, well, should you be proud to be an American with the way they're behaving on the world stage? And I go, well, I'm proud to be an American, but I'm not impressed with the way my government behaves. And again, Should you be proud of your GDP? I don't know. I'm not impressed with our GDP. I know how easy it is to fake. I don't have an answer for you, Wednesday. Yeah, I don't have an answer for you, Wednesday, because I sympathize. I have a bunch of questions. I'm proud of my nation. I'm not proud of my nation's history. I'm not proud of the mythology. I'm proud that it exists and that it continues to exist. But looking from the outside in on Germany, it's doing really well, but it's doing really well on the backs of normal Germans. They have a real problem with tyrannical impositions on the way people live their lives. So like in Germany, they'll force you to put solar panels on the home that you own, and then they'll force you to replace those solar panels without fucking stimulating you for it. So reimbursing you is what another person would say. I call all money that a government gives to its citizens stimulus money, because that's really all it is. They're just trying to stimulate the economy with money they printed. Yeah, the education and social systems are worth being proud of, but then are we proud of how we arrive at them? Because Germany arrives at everything at the point of a gun, because the Prussians are the majority government and have been for a while. Because the Prussians are the only people who care fanatically enough to go out and control a government. They've done it so many times in German history. That's why Germany used to be fragmented up among all these Habsburg family members, so that no one tribe or no one group could have all the weapons. Well, every country has a problem, sure, but we're talking specifically about her problems with her country. And so I'm trying to, rather than let her bitch about her country, she asked me for my opinion. I'm trying to articulate my knowledge before I get to my opinions. I don't know what I would do in your situation. I don't know. Because my nation doesn't have that ghost, that specter hanging over it. We never did anything approaching that. I've done my best, Wednesday. You should see my library on 20th century German history, and then you should see my library on pre-20th century European history. You're not saying too much, funny. I'm just telling you that nobody is criticizing anybody in particular, man. The chat is for you. You're not bothering me at all. I just want you to know that nobody's under any pressure to change their mind about anything. She asked me a question, and I'm just trying to answer it to the best of my ability. So I can't tell you what I would do. I know it's easier to immigrate in the EU than it used to be, but do you want to leave your grandma? Do you want to leave, your childhood friends? I don't know, Wednesday. I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do. Thank you, Wednesday. Your wife is Polish? You're just fine, funny. You're not doing anything that's bothering me, and I haven't seen anybody say, okay, that crossed the line. I haven't seen it. You announced that you're being funny, and I reserve the right for a fool to be foolish sometimes. So you're in a safe place, funny. Nobody's asking you to move on in any sense. And there's just no cane coming. No hooked, crook, whatever those are called. Crook staff. Okay, I want a granola bar. Here the treats. That's funny, Danny. You like cats funny? That's funny to me too. I know some people like the ASMR, the audio experience of noises like that. So there you go. It is a nice day, Watson. I'm gonna walk you guys out of my tent here. Somebody have asked me if I have poison ivy, and I will show you my path here. Yes, I have. I am stepping on poison ivy right now. I have poison ivy. To the morgue, that's what 911 is for. Tag my toe and don't forget, ooh, to close the door. I have seen one snake. Yeah, there are cats around, not like wild cats. I heard a cat get pregnant the other night on stream. Alright, these are all thorns, so I am doing my best not to, do what I just did and get tangled up in a thorn bush. And for those of you who have not seen me do this before and have not heard me say so, no, I'm not from Cincinnati. I walk this every day. That's part of how it got beat down like this, but this right here, these are deer beds. So the deer help. Yep, I've walked this every day for 10 months. This is a deer bed. These are deer beds. You can see that some smallish animal has made a little nest, a little den in there to sleep at night. Another one here, right there. This is all beds. All that over there is beds. Animal beds. This is a deer path that I followed down here. I took this deer path down to followed it across. It was over there was where I found the first one. There were 3 of them. There was one there. There was this one. 2 of them, I'm sorry. This one and one over there. I followed it down. You can't see my finger. It was up there. I followed it down. Can you see that hole in the trees right there? My finger's in the way. That hole in the trees right there leads up to another path up that hill. And then I followed that hill down across to where that path connects over there. And that's when I saw the spot that I'm bedded down in now, that I set my tent in. And it was originally a deer bed. And I figured if it's flat enough for 5 or 6 deer to lay on, it's probably flat enough for me to lie on. And I was right. So I could show you this from I can show you this from my perspective. This is my eye level. This is my eye level. But your eye level would be more like down here. Motherfucker. Okay. Done. I haven't seen any lizards. No. There's a bug on my neck. Safari Shaggy indeed. Oh. This winter, I described it feeling like some kind of hunter-gatherer, tracking the deer out here, sleeping among them. It felt that desperate for a while. Fucking bugs. Ooh. I'll show you the sky cap is just blue. Just blue. Oh, it is hot up here. It is several degrees warmer in the direct sunlight on top of this hill than it is in that ravine. Now that won't be the case for much longer in the day. That ravine is going to get way, way hotter. It retains heat. Yeah, Danny, you might be the first time in history that somebody in LA looked to Ohio for a clear blue sky. It's not even that clear. It's one big fucking cloud, actually, over this way. This is actually one big fucking cloud, and then it drifts apart that way. That's actually and genuinely, it's warm. It's actually and genuinely funny to me that I caught you on basically the one overcast day in LA. Yeah, I'm not selling Kohls. I'm not inviting anybody to come to my home, for certain. But this is the walk I take every day. I do want to put my other earbud in, though. Because I might end singing. I haven't done that in a few days. Well, funny, when I can afford a hotel room. On my Patreon subs, I will take the longest, hottest shower of my life. I'm sorry, I can promise you that. Not going to do those things. Those are the kinds of things that a person without dignity would do. You just watch me take a bath. Those are the kinds of things that a desperate person would do. A person who only knows how to keep himself clean in hot running water. It's just a no. Yeah, a desperate person. Keeping these people off of my screen. Nice turn signal, dick nuts. Jesus Christ. These fucking assholes will hit me with a mid-sized sedan. They don't give a fuck. Somehow my tall, skinny ass is invisible to most of them. So I made a big mistake. Try and see what's my way. God damn, people. Can we commit? Nothing on TV, Jib? Has there been anything on TV in a decade? I'm walking over to my spot at Panera. No bike. Can't ride a bike, Danny. Pelvis too wrecked. I shattered my knee and ripped my pelvis to shred in a bike accident about 7 years ago. I couldn't even sit on a bike without pain. And then there's no way I could pedal it without threatening my guts falling out between my legs. Dodgers game today, sick. We can see if the goldfish are out when I get down there. I'm kind of surprised Michael C. Hall is even still allowed in Hollywood. Nothing he's done has been any good since fucking Dead Like Me. No, it was that funeral, not Dead Like Me. I don't remember what it was called. I'm glad you like Dexter. I said we're going to the Panera where I hang out, JB. The goldfish aren't out today. The ducks are pretty though. I would skip on Dexter. The books are better. People must have liked Dexter a lot, ending and writing irrespective, because they're watching it again 20 years later or whatever. Not likely, JB. I haven't made any money for lunch today, so I don't know what I'm going to eat or when. The books are different from the show after the first one. The first season. They deviate wildly from the books. I'm taking you to the Panera where I hang out Wednesday. You can send me a super chat at 1,000 subs, funny. I gotta have 1,000 subs first. I made $25 yesterday. I haven't planned on eating yet. I don't know what I want. I don't know when that'll happen. I got some dosh sitting in my pocket. I'll think about that when I think about it. I was just trying to answer the question as honestly as possible. But yeah, yesterday I had a soup and salad. My guy, it might be Carter, but I thought it was Connor, gave me his employee discount, so I ended up didn't pay for it at all. I was trying to spend 20 bucks and he just gave it to me for free. I'm really not worried about it, Danny, or funny. Try not to show anybody's approach. Here we go. Crossing the street in this town is a risky proposition. These people will accelerate once they see you. It's very hot. Yes, JB. I can't run, but I can hustle. Can't run anymore, not without serious pain. Hey, they at least put my umbrella up or left it up last night. It's hilarious to me how bad the clothes at this store is. Can't ride a bike, Danny. I feel like I told you this already. Can't. I shattered my left knee, tore both of my CLs on my inner and outer of my knee, and shredded my pelvic floor muscles. Sitting on a bicycle would give me an excruciating agony, and pedaling it threatens dumping my guts out from between my legs. Danny, come on, man. I'm a 38-year-old man. Scooter. All right. Fuck. God damn it. I have a series of fucking splinters in my hand I gotta deal with immediately. Oh, that is a lot of people. And I got a splinter in my foot today. Today was a painful and withering walk. No, I'm significantly worse now, funny. Okay, sorry about that. I have a bunch of space here in my hand. The dining room is pretty full, so I'm not trying to make a scene. Oh, I don't know how I'm gonna get these. I don't have any tweezers. I lost them, and then I can't find any sold separately. Oh my god. No, it usually doesn't smell good in here, Jib. It usually stinks in here. It smells like middle-class people who don't know how to bathe, so they wear a lot of perfume in here. It just smells like perfume. Oh. Yeah, it's a melange of non-food perfumes, so it stinks. Okay. Thank you guys for all the positive emojis. I gotta deal with these splinters, and then I'll put you on a tripod. These splinters hurt. Oh my god. That's so gross. Okay, I got all of them. Yeah, 38. Thank you. I didn't mean to look great for 38, but it happened. I just happened to look like a girl. And I never let myself get hugely overweight or severely underweight. Yeah, sorry, JB. I got a bunch of fucking splinters in my hand that I'm dealing with right now before I move on. Ow. Fuck. Oh, no. That hurts. Oh my god, this is the worst. I grabbed a hold of a splinter bush, I guess, and I just have a porcupine needle of splinters in my thumb and forefinger. And I didn't notice till I got here. And they're tiny filaments that I can barely see. So I'm trying to dig them out with these fingernail clippers, and it hurts. I mean, it's like a 3, but it's my fingers. It's very intimate. Okay. I know you're not. You were making a joke. You were just contributing to keep it moving, and I was genuinely apologizing. Okay. I've done real good about not getting anything in my skin up to now. But it doesn't hurt, so I got them. We're at Panera, Guillermo Padilla. Why am I unpacking? We're gonna hang outside. Got to know his limitations. Feeling claustrophobic like the walls are closing in. Bloodstains on my hands and I don't know where I've been. I'm in trouble for the things I haven't got to yet. I'm jumping in the axe and my palms are getting wet. Sweating bullets. Doo-da-down. Okay. Alright, one more time. Sorry about that. I shouldn't even have brought you in here. I don't know why I did, actually. Because I got another splinter in my foot I gotta deal with. God damn it, that hurts like a motherfucker. Alright. Ow. Okay. Sorry about that. I don't know why I even went in there. Thank you. I don't remember how to say, I don't remember the proper response to Gesundheit, but thank you. There we go. That's what it was. Whole damn tree in my shoe. So, you know, sandals come with consequences. Ay, 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 ay. Ow, ow, ow. What is that? Aha. Found it. Yeah, philosopher is good enough. I wouldn't call myself a philosopher. I would call myself a religious, ascetic, monastic, and Alitea. Alitea is lover of truth, a higher conception than Sophia, but philosopher is easy enough for conversation. Hey, Jamie John, I see you, bud. I don't know how I'm going to get this out of my foot. How you doing? No, no. I think I got it. So toenail clippers are not the most appropriate tool for digging splinters out of one's skin. Sunday in Melbourne? Winter? Cold? Yeah, I asked somebody earlier today. They told me it was cold, and I asked them if they were in the southern hemisphere, and I think they fucked off. I don't think they answered my question. So, confirmed, the southern hemisphere is in the doldrums of winter, right? Jamie, do I understand that properly? I didn't Wednesday. I haven't even got a drink yet. It was jammed. There were like 2 families waiting in line and another one going in, so I'm just going to wait until it slows down. I don't like to stand in lines if I can avoid it. And the girl who is working the register is really pretty, and so I just prefer not to look like I'm staring. He's the one who likes all our pretty songs, and Hey, Eric. I hope you didn't think I was singling you out or picking on you, man. Great to see you again. That probably means that you didn't feel like I was singling you out or picking on you. I have this thing as far as picking out something to eat. That I'll get hungry once I felt like I've worked, and so I'm at an hour and a half, an hour 40 minutes on stream. Hey, Olivier, I'm glad to hear that, Eric. I've got an hour and a half on stream. Once that's closer to 4, I'll probably be like, all right, I'm hungry. You guys got to give me an hour. But so long as the chat is lively and friendly, I'm good for food for now. I'll have to. Final Fantasy 3 is actually a really cool game. It was my least favorite of the first 6, I'm sorry, and now I'm really getting into the groove with it. I really like it now that I'm. You want me to stop singing? Wednesday? It's hard for me to say, JB. I usually start these when nobody's here talking about what's on my mind, and because I've trained myself with Zen and mindfulness, Buddhism, etc., Jain, etc., and then the specifically Greek and Italian, Roman, Western style meditation. I don't really hold thoughts in my mind, so they just kind of come out of me as they come out of me. But I've been thinking about the movie Weapons and the metaphor of weaponized children, JB. I've been thinking about weaponized children. Interesting, Olivier. That might explain why so many people accuse me of being a bot, is because now the people are pretending to be a bot. I'm sorry, Wednesday. I don't know Taylor Swift. I like that she's involved with the NFL, though. I like that she loves Travis Kelce. Hey, Shannon, great to see you. Did you, give me like an emoji for how you're feeling? You don't have to talk about the stuff if you don't want to, but let me know where you're at with what we were talking about yesterday. Yeah, man, that ship was way cool. Now, those weren't the original graphics. That is a modern 2D, 3D update. But the art that they did for the modern remaster was incredible, wasn't it? It looked very cool. Okay, those emojis are a snowflake. Is that a guitar? A ski? I think you're asking me if I do cocaine. No. It's all good, Mike. I'm temperamental, and you might have caught me when somebody else was agitating me, and I just cleaned out everybody whose names I didn't recognize. Not even worried about it. I don't remember you making me mad, but I do remember your name, so welcome back. Thank you for asking, or thank you for articulating that, though. I do appreciate that. It means a lot. That's what I thought, Shannon. You'll figure it out, I believe. No, Alex. Yes, JB, consciousness. If you're familiar with William James, what I'm doing is a stream of consciousness. Literally. I should probably start calling it that, huh? Stream of consciousness, because I'm trying to get you guys to... I don't want to talk about 19th century philosophy, if you don't mind. Of course I'm streaming, Cheetos. Heard that. I understand what you're saying, Shannon. That's a huge compliment. You're here. I'm here for you. I am outside. I'm sitting outside of Panera right now. I'm gonna get something to drink, and I've been encouraged that I'm allowed to eat while I'm on stream, so I might invite you guys to my lunch again. Jib seemed to really have a good time with that, and I'm emotionally ebullient in the side and on the inside in a way that I'm not used to, so I might do that. That might be something that you can count on, actually. Yeah, Olivier, some people are trying to get under my skin, but I'm getting better at figuring out who they are, and I'm getting better at figuring out, not yet, Cheetos. Weaponized children, I mean, since the 1990s, you have been in the middle of what is called a culture war. There was this book written in the 1990s that articulated what culture war is, and since then the Democrats have run with it as a war cry. So culture war. You're in the middle of a culture war, and what elementary schools do, what television shows for children do, and what people like me, not me, but people who sit on lives like me, do is weaponize children in the culture war. You did a lot of work on your database last night, Wood. I was conducive to you getting work that you think is good and productive done. Is that what you just told me? Did I interpret that right? Shannon, I'll be live until midnight. Just count on that, basically. Who day? Sauce is so cool. I think that's what it says. Who day? They're playing tonight, Monday? I think God is with me, Ben Adam. Yes, Olivier. We're trying not to talk about that war too much today. It has been in the chat a lot, not because we're promoting it, but we are promoting education at all times. No, you are drumming up a conversation, JB. You didn't ask me something I didn't want to talk about. Somebody else asked me something I didn't want to talk about. The weaponized children thing is something I'm happy to talk about. I just watched this movie, Weapons, and so I don't have to talk about the movie in order to talk about weaponized children. Heard that, Shannon. Please be safe. Hands at 10 and 2 if you're driving, please. For me. You guys don't understand. If I learned that one of you died because you were paying more attention to me than to the road, it would be the end of this. Fuck yeah, Eric. I remember you telling me about that you were going through and defragging, or whatever word you used. I remember you telling me about that now. I played the first Metal Gear Solid as a kid when it first came out, Michael. Enough time that I got the 007 suit. Is that 7? You have to beat it 7 times in a row or whatever and do some other dumb bullshit? 10 and 2, please. Please be safe. Eyes on the road. And if possible, have a passenger. Your likelihood of surviving any car trip goes up by having a passenger who's engaged on actually watching the road. Please don't text and drive. Please don't. Just please. You just don't understand. You don't understand how fucked up I would be if one of your mothers, one of your wives, one of your girlfriends, one of your significant others fucking got on this stream to say, you know, you were the last thing he saw before he died because his dumb ass was too busy watching you. Please. Please. I don't make my walk and talk streams about the danger that people are in while they're driving often enough. But please, just please take it seriously. I think Michael Okay, I missed what you said earlier, so this is important. Mike says, he's in the UK, so you speak a little different. I don't know what MGS means, but weaponized children and literal brainwashing. Yeah, I don't mind talking about that. JB, when I said I don't want to talk about Nazi Germany if we can avoid that, but that's the example. I needed to scroll up. I'm all the time talking about how if you're talking to me, just scroll up, and then I didn't scroll up like a dickhead, because Michael is right, that if you look at the lore, especially in UFO and conspiracy lore, what you'll find is that they were all saying that the 90s were going to play out exactly the way the 90s did, and he's right. And that's why I'm saying that since the 90s, it's been deeply, deeply fucked up, the way we weaponize our kids for the culture war. I love that, Olivier. I'm going to be honest with you. I tried very hard to learn the European, Indo-European languages. So French, Spanish, Italian, Latin. I tried to learn the Scandinavian tongues. I tried to learn how to pronounce Polish and other Eastern European words. And what I realized is that I can't do vocabulary, but I can give it my best shot. And that means a lot to me, that all of that effort, it was years, man, decades, to try to learn how to even pronounce your name with the respect that you deserve. And I'm really glad that it meant something to you, all that work that I put in. Danny, what do you mean you had all what wrong? I don't know what that means. Oh, Olivier? It's like there was an actor. Somebody will know his name. Everyone calls you Oliver or Olivier. Yeah, man. Your name is important. I hate the historical convention of changing people's names to fit the language that's talking about those people. Your name is Olivier, and calling you anything else is disrespectful of you as a human being, in my opinion. In my opinion. So here, JB, I was thinking about this morning. Part of why I don't get on here and rant and make this about me and make this about my thoughts is because, like, if I were to get on here and I were to rant about how you need to, this happens to me every time in my life. Like, you need to correctly pronounce people's names. You need to do this thing. You need to do this thing. Karma, the way that my dharma works, is I would turn around and immediately misname someone. My opinion may be wrong, but you're gonna have to support it with more evidence than that, Brandon, for me to take you seriously as a human being. I'll start to mispronounce your name any second now. But I've made a lot of friends and acquaintances over the years just by asking them what the story behind their name is. Hey, Queen. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Well, I mean, what's his name? I need to know his name. The director. I need to be able to pull up the auteur that is Death Stranding now, and I can't get it. It's not coming to me. But he's an auteur. I love to hear that, Queen. He's an auteur, so he was trying to predict real-world shit. He was trying to talk about real-world shit. Have you played the first two, Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2? They're about real-world shit. Artists, especially film artists, have been trying to warn us about what's happening for real forever. Look at all of the characters that Donald Trump played, and look at all of the parodies of Donald Trump since the 1970s. Olivier. Yeah. Well, that R just becomes an A sound. That ER becomes an A sound for those who are confused. So like the chevalier, it becomes YAY in our language, in English. Chevalier. The French will tell you that they're very lazy speakers. He's from Brittany, and the north of France, and he'll tell you that the south of France are very lazy speakers. It's even in their spellings are different too. I don't know how. I don't know what I'm talking about. That's why I said he could tell you. It was a thing they wrote about a lot in the Middle Ages. I'm not being racist. It was a thing that they commented on a lot in the Middle Ages. Dante Alighieri wrote about it. For sure, Michael. For sure. He is an informed person. I can't think of his name. Tom Clancy was warning us. They were all trying to tell us, man. That's what I was talking about. Like even Donald Trump is even in Final Fantasy VII. They were trying to warn us about these people. They just couldn't talk about it outright because those people signed their paychecks. And great to see you around, Mjolnir. Yeah, our art has been trying to warn us. What's his name? Ellison. Harlan Ellison was trying to tell us too. Trump is in Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, Danny. The Don Corneo. Don Corneo is very obviously Donald Trump. I didn't wake up, I just got woke. That's right. It wasn't a single moment in my life. Hello, Hidden. Welcome back. The banana thing I don't understand. But thank you for contributing to the chat. YouTube doesn't mind the analytic. I did a video about it, Danny. I can go in and I can edit the Don Corneo section of my Final Fantasy Live video, but I plan to really focus on it when I play it for a second time. I'm gonna play it I'm gonna play it 2 times in a row. I'd never noticed it either, Michael, but if you look at him, he has Trump's hairdo. He's wearing Trump's red jacket. He always wears that stupid red jacket with the blue under it. He looks and acts just like Donald Trump. And what would Donald Trump be in the minds of a Japanese person but a sex tourist? That's what Don Corneo is. And so all these people that are upset about that E-list, right? Everybody that's upset about that and upset about him not wanting to disclose it, well, why would he have opinions other than because his name is right there at the top? Everybody knew. Everybody knows. I've heard a lot of people say that Twilight Princess is the best of all of them, Eric. I've never played it. The only 2 that I've ever played, no, I take that back. I've played 3. I finished and really, really liked A Link to the Past. I hated Ocarina of Time, and if there's an emotion worse than hate, that's how I felt about Breath of the Wild. If I hadn't bought the digital copy, I would have set that fucking thing on fire. Right. The only thing you ever used to hear about Donald Trump, especially in the 80s and the early 90s, was that he was always surrounded with beautiful women. He's a sex tourist. But rich people have been sex tourists for since the end of the First World War. That's what the war against communism was about, was opening those countries up to sex tourism. That's kind of why I told my guy Connor that he might not want to watch this one. That's what the whole Modernize Africa movement is about. That's why with the Olympics, all of those Cold War countries were showing off their trans women instead of their natural women, because they were inviting sex tourists. Was it Lithuania or whatever that was showing off their trans sports team? They were showing off that Lithuania can compete with Thailand for ladyboys. Uncle Sam now is an ironic name for the government, but Uncle Sam was a cartoon character that was invented to sell the war, either World War I or World War II. Yeah, well, Donald Trump isn't. He's just a rich person. He's just a rich person. Yeah, he's not an idiosyncratic genius. Look at his kids.
They're thoroughly average people. He's just a thoroughly average dude with a shitload of daddy's money. It's aspirational to have a shitload of daddy's money. That's why people vote for it. Hello to Australia, Ryan. Met a few people from Australia. Nice to make your acquaintance. Sure. It doesn't need to be a thing that's so public, Michael. The conversation doesn't need to be so public. Heard that with the switching, making him right-handed for the Wii. And heard that, Mjolnir. Take the tapeworm out your ass. Heard that, Jib. I seem to have found the corner of the internet where women will let me women will let me talk about anything without thinking I'm trying to hurt anybody's feelings. So that's really encouraging. Thank you for being a part of that, Jib. Hey, Danny. If that's how you feel, Ryan, I'm happy for you. Well, it used to be banned. That's just playing to 19th century politics. Sure, the whole left-hand thing is annoying to me. Zelda being left-handed is annoying to me. But he's a solo adventurer. He would never have to stand in a shield wall. Yeah, it's a rural thing. I wasn't looking for anything in Camelot. I'm repulsed by Camelot. Sure, Danny. You would be forced to hold your shield in your left hand in a shield wall, though. You would be a liability. What did I want? What does want mean, Ryan? In the context of a homeless person and his government. Yeah, there's a bee usually flying around me. They're just sweat bees. The worst they can do is bite, and they will. They're annoying. Doing my best to ignore them. I'm gonna have to pause for a second to go in and get something to drink here in a few minutes. Welcome, Zoinks. Welcome, Ghost Samurai. Thanks for hanging out with me last night. Can't be in a shield wall with your sword in your left hand, no, Michael. I wasn't allowed to vote, Ryan. I was turned away. I tried to vote for Trump because the lesser of two evils. My day's going great, Zoinks. Zoinks! Well, lesser of two evils, Ryan. I was actually running. I campaigned against both of them. Kamala Harris is too stupid to be alive, let alone President of the United States of America. She's also completely run through, and I'm not voting for Theodora the Great. Just not going to do it. Chevalier was the word for knights, that's correct. It means horseman. That's right. It means that somewhere, someone in your line was bonded to a noble, to a duke or a whatever. A marquis, probably, in Brittany. Camilla, yeah. Humped her way to her position. That's funny, Zoinks. Welcome back, Queen. My favorite strain is lemon haze. Her politics are abhorrent, but she as a person is repulsive. Trump is just another rich guy. Because I choose to, Queen. It's the delivery system for the chemicals that I want in my body and my brain. If I could afford it, I would just hit a bong every couple of hours. It's not good. Take care, Michael. I'll be here, man. Get you some sleep, do all those things you gotta do, take care of yourself, be ready for your Monday. It's 4:20 somewhere. Well, I would say you, Saltino, but you are a woman I hate. Marijuana is sort of legal in my state. This is synthetic, it's Delta 8. Medical is legal, but medical is really expensive. Way, way outside of my price range. Hey, Isaac. I haven't mentioned in a while, but thank you guys for those 35 likes. I should do it every 10 minutes, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to badger a passersby, and I'm not going to interrupt the conversation. So thank you. Thank you for the work you've done, and thank you for that most recent one. I do see them. I'm not ignoring them. It's just inappropriate to mention them too often, in my opinion. I don't like to hear it when I watch these. You guys know what you're doing. I trust you. I believe in you. And I can be very stingy with those likes because I use them to mark my mark things I'm going to come back to. So those of you who you hit the like so that you can come back, that's the coolest shit in the world. And I just saw 10 of you hit it, so thank you very much. That's really cool of you. I do appreciate it. It means a lot. It means that you guys are enjoying yourselves. And that's what this is about. This is about you guys having a good time. But yeah, marijuana is only sort of legal, and only recently. Only very recently. Within the last 7 years, maybe. And I don't know that it's statewide. I think it is still jurisdictional, like to the cities or whatever. Busy today. Every time I think to myself, there's been a nice lull in customers, I'll go in there. I just don't want to stand in line. Good for them. It's good to be busy. I think JB took off. I don't think he liked the subject matter that was on my mind. And that's why I don't make this about what's on my mind. If I'm just going to talk and I feel I just need to get to express an idea, I'll call it a meditation. And that's why that guy earlier who asked me, well, do you meditate? And I said, well, it really depends on what you mean. And I didn't want to derail the conversation. Now's as good a time as any. Meditating can mean sitting in place and thinking about nothing. It can mean sitting in place and thinking about something. But it can also mean sitting or standing in place and talking to someone about something. Or writing about something. So like the meditations of Marcus Aurelius is not an empty book. It's you open it and it's words. Him writing to himself or writing to an idealized or fictional future version of his son is actually what a lot of it is. The Meditations of Marcus Aurelius, a lot of it is narrating to his son, for his son to read later in life. And so if I were just going to talk at you, I would call it a meditation. I wouldn't call it the fountain. I would call it something else thematically, so you know, oh, okay, he's talking today. He's got something to say. But I don't come with anything prepared for the fountain. I like to see what's going on in you guys' lives. I like to talk to you guys, hear about where you're at, what you're going through, what you're feeling, and then just talk you through it if you need talked through it. But usually, especially in the modern world, we suffer with depression and don't even know it. We suffer from symptoms of depression and don't even realize it until we're at that final stage where it's like, okay, the depression is our whole lives and there's no way to look away from it and tell ourselves, oh, it's just this, or oh, it's just that. And the cure-all for depression is expressing yourself and feeling heard. And so I'm here to just say, I hear you all day long. Even if I disapprove, I'll tell you I disapprove. Maybe we could change the framing. And I think my chat might be busted. So if my chat is busted, I'll give it about 45 seconds on this. If my chat's busted, I'll start over here in a minute with a drink and a salad. Because I think what happens is you guys can still hear me. You can still interact with the thumbs up, the thumbs down. But what you can't do is engage in the chat. I think that's what I've been told happens. So yeah. I'm trying to tell you guys, thank you for being here. And that therapy is good. Therapy is good if what you are is injured. But if what you are is lonely, I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you find your people. I may not be one of your people, but I am certain that one of your people is floating around in my chat. And those 2 likes are telling me that you guys can interact, but you can't talk to me. So give me 20 minutes. I'll be back it'll be 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So I'll be back by the top of the hour. All right, give me 15 minutes and I'll be back. Whatever I said. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for those likes. And I'm just going to say it now, for any of you who swing back around and give me multiple likes a day, thank you. You don't have to do that. And I know that you know that. I'm just acknowledging that I know that. Thank you guys. We'll pick this back up in 15 or 20.